the end of the Cold War was seen as this extraordinary vindication of the United States and indeed the Western liberal order. The Soviet Union had been the evil empire for decades. We were always told what a formidable adversary it was and how we needed to focus laser-like on containing Soviet power, et cetera. And suddenly, beginning in the mid 1980s, but then after that, it begins to come unglued. The Warsaw Pact dissolves, and then eventually the Soviet Union comes apart into constituent pieces as well. There were doubts even in the late 80s as to whether or not this was really happening, and it did. So you could argue that the American foreign policy elite, with some very rare exceptions, was sort of drunk with success at this point, and not surprisingly, given everything that had gone on. And by the way, it was not just that the United States had won the Cold War along with its allies. It seemed like everyone was now embracing American ideals. You have the Velvet Revolutions in Eastern Europe, where it's not just that they want to be free of Soviet control, they want to be capitalist and they want to be democracies. So the American model, if you will, seems to be contagious at this point. So you enter the 1990s, you get to the Clinton administration, and you have this extraordinary sense of optimism that the world is heading in our direction. The tides of history are flowing America's way, that the American model is now the only game in town, and therefore spreading those liberal values is going to be, first of all, good for everybody, and also easy to do because most of the world wants to embrace them. So there won't be a whole lot of pushback, won't be a whole lot of resistance here. And this becomes a decade that's really characterized by enormous hubris by the United States, and very little discussion of how this might go wrong.